Pick up your phone. Just hold it in your hand. Feel its weight. It's not just a piece of glass, plastic, and microchips. Right now, in your palm, lies your most reliable shield, your oxygen mask, your portable first aid kit. Unlock the screen. Open your messenger. Look at that list of names. Mom, best friend, partner, the colleague you swap sarcastic comments with about management, that ex with whom things are complicated, but you just talk, that girl or guy with whom nothing will ever happen, but you keep each other on standby. Ask yourself one brutally honest, uncomfortable question. Why are they here? The first answer that fires in your brain, automatic, rehearsed over years, is because I love them, because it's interesting, because we are friends. That's a good answer, safe, socially approved. We all want to believe our relationships are built on light feelings, but if we go deeper, to the place where your gut starts to pull unpleasantly, where your intuition lives, which never lies, we will find something else there. You begin to realize that many of your connections are not a choice of the heart. They are frantic attempts to answer a question you are deadly afraid to ask yourself. We use people. It sounds disgusting, I know. Your ego is revolting right now. No, I'm not like that. I'm sincere. I'm caring. Of course, you are caring. But let's look at what stands behind that care. Let's dissect the anatomy of your attachment under a microscope. Imagine your soul is a house, a huge, old house. And in one of the load-bearing walls of this house, there is a crack, a gaping one. A draft blows from there. From that blackness comes an icy, cosmic cold. It is the cold of existential loneliness, the cold of doubting that you exist at all, the cold of fear that you are empty space, a mistake, invisible. This draft is unbearable. When you are left in silence, it starts to howl like wind in a chimney. It keeps you from sleeping. It keeps you from feeling alive. And what do? You don't pick up tools to patch the crack. You don't learn to light the fireplace to warm the house from the inside. You don't try to understand the nature of this wind. No. You run out into the street, grab the first person who looks roughly the right size, drag them into the house, and stand them against that wall. Stand here, your behavior says to them. Don't move. Cover this hole with yourself. Be my insulation. Be my shield against the abyss. Look at your relationships, the ones that drain you, but which you cannot break. Look at your partner, the one you are eternally saving, the one who always has some drama, debts, depression, unrecognized genius. You get tired, you complain to friends, you say it's unbearable, but you don't leave. A year, 2, 5. Why? Because as long as he is weak, you feel strong. As long as he lies at the bottom, you feel like the one standing at the top, reaching down a hand. As long as he needs help, you feel needed. He is your living answer to the agonizing question, do I have value just as I am? You're afraid to ask this question in silence because the horror is that you suspect the answer is no. You feel that by yourself, without the savior function, you are a zero, a dummy. So you keep a walking disaster nearby. He is your loud, daily guarantee that you are good, that you exist, that you have a mission. You don't love him. You love the feeling of self-importance you get against his background. You use his misfortune as fuel for your self-esteem. Or, let's look at the other side. Look at your successful friends. Those who are always positive, who know where to go, who radiate charisma, who walk into a room and heads turn. You gravitate toward them. You want to be in their orbit. You are willing to tolerate their inattention, their egocentrism, just so they call you a friend. Why? Because you lean on them. They are your answer to the question, can I handle life alone? As long as they are near, it seems their strength is your strength, that their light falls on you, and you start to shine too. You use them as an exoskeleton because you don't believe your own spine can withstand the gravity of reality. You are afraid of your grayness, your ordinariness, and you hide behind their brightness. We surround ourselves with functional people. We create an entire staff to service our neuroses. Someone works as our pill for boredom. You know that feeling? Friday evening or Sunday late afternoon. Chores are done. Silence begins to thicken. And suddenly you feel anxious. Thoughts start crawling into your head. Strange, sticky thoughts about the past, about the future, about the meaning of this whole rat race. What do? You grab the phone. Need to call someone. Need to meet up. You call this person not because you miss their voice, not because you are interested in how they are, but because you are terrified to be alone with yourself. You use them as a radio to drown out the noise in your own head. Talk to me. Tell me anything. Just don't let me hear the silence. Someone works as a mirror of attractiveness. We keep them in the friend zone. We flirt with them without intending to promise anything. Why? To see our reflection in their eyes and think, yes, I am desired. I am still worth something in this market. We feed on their infatuation. We drink their attention like vampires, giving nothing in return but hope. Someone works as a lightning rod. People we lash out at. Parents who will endure anything. Children who aren't going anywhere. Partners who are too afraid to lose us. We use them as a trash can for our aggression, for our irritation with the world. This is not friendship. This is not intimacy. And it is certainly not love. This is building barricades out of living bodies. We build a fortress around our vulnerability, using people like bricks. And the scariest thing happens when a brick falls out, when the prop disappears, the person leaves or dies or changes and says, I don't want to play this game anymore, or simply gets tired of standing by your crack, freezing in that draft. And then you panic. Notice, this is not the light sadness of loss. This is not noble grief. This is sticky, animal panic. This is the withdrawal of an addict whose dose has been taken away. You thrash about. You write hundreds of messages. You wait by the entrance. You are ready to humiliate yourself. You scream, I can't live without him. Let's translate this into the language of truth. You are screaming, I can't feel this draft again. I can't look at this hole in the wall. It's blowing on me. Give me back my plug. Give me back my anesthesia. You don't miss the person. You don't even see the person behind your pain. You miss the function they performed. You miss the answer they gave to your terrifying question. Without them, the question sounds in your head again, loud as an air raid siren. Who am I? Why am I here? Am I loved? Is there meaning in my life if no one is watching? And here you are. Now, maybe you recognized yourself in these words, and maybe you feel pain or shame right now. That is good. Shame is an indicator that we have touched the truth. Pain is a sign that the anesthesia is wearing off. Maybe you feel it right now. This emptiness you urgently want to stuff with something. To write, hi, how are you? To someone. just to see three jumping dots meaning someone there on the other end of the line noticed your existence. Stop. I beg you, stop. Do not press send. True transformation, true adult life begins not when you find your person. It begins the moment you decide to endure the pause. When you step away from the wall, remove all the props, dismiss all the extras, and stay one-on-one with your crack. Yes, it's drafting. Yes, it's cold to the bone. Yes, it's scary enough to make you want to curl into a fetal position. But you are obligated to ask this question yourself, without intermediaries, without translators. Afraid you are boring? Okay, sit on the couch, turn off the phone, turn off the music, and be boring. Stare at the wall. Live this hour in absolute boredom, and you know what you'll discover. You won't die. Boredom doesn't kill. Moreover, if you go through it, you might discover that at the bottom of this boredom lies your true peace. The very peace you have drowned out for years with other people's fun and other people's dramas. You will discover your own thoughts that you couldn't hear over the noise of parties. Afraid you are not needed. Be unneeded. Imagine all the phones in the world went silent, that no one is waiting for your help. Feel this horror and watch it dissolve. The world didn't collapse. The sun rose. Your heart is beating. Your lungs are pumping air. You exist. You exist not because you are useful, like a hammer or a screwdriver. You exist by right of birth. Your value is sewn into your DNA. It doesn't need to be earned by servicing other people's problems. You are part of this universe, and that is enough. This is a painful process. It is detoxification. It is like learning to walk again after a long illness. You will have to admit that many of your great loves and strong friendships were simply mutual use of neuroses. It was a barter. I'll scratch your trauma if you scratch mine. I'll play the role of your parent if you play the role of my child. You will have to let go of those with whom you were connected only by shared pain or shared fear. It will feel like amputation, but it is the amputation of gangrenous tissue. But listen to me. Listen carefully. When you go through this, when you learn to answer your questions yourself, when you say to yourself, I can handle it. I am enough. A miracle happens. Real magic that isn't written about in books. You no longer need functional people. You no longer need crutches. And then, and only then, do you begin to truly see other people for the first time in your life. You look at your friend and see not the one who entertains me, not a clown, not a crying vest. You see a separate, huge, complex universe, and you want to be near him, not out of hunger. Give me, fill me, but out of pure interest, out of abundance. I have my world, you have your world. Let's touch and see what happens. You look at your partner and see not the one who confirms my significance, not a trophy, not a savior. You see a living human, with their scars, with their fears, which are not obligated to cure your fears, and you choose to be with them, not because without them you will fall, but because with them your flight becomes more beautiful, higher, brighter. Your connections cease to be thick, dirty ropes on which you hang over the abyss. They become thin, invisible, luminous threads through which pure energy flows. Energy of giving, not taking. Energy of love, not need. This is freedom. Freedom to be alone and not feel lonely, and freedom to be together and not lose yourself in another. Look at your phone again. You don't need to delete numbers. You don't need to call right now and break off relationships with a scandal. Just change your attitude right now, inside your head. Strip these people of their epaulets as your rescuers. Fire them from the position of your psychotherapists, your animators, your parents. Stop demanding that they be your answers. They don't know the answers. Believe me, they are just as confused travelers as you are. They are also afraid of the dark. They are also looking for warmth. Release them from this unbearable burden to be your meaning, your peace, your confidence in tomorrow. Take these tasks for yourself. This is your job. This is your responsibility. This is your house, and it is for you to repair. And when you do this, you will feel the air around you change. Physically, it becomes easier to breathe, as if a concrete slab was lifted from your chest. The draft disappears, not because you plugged the hole with another person, but because you yourself became whole. You yourself became a home. A strong, warm, bright home into which it is not scary to invite guests. Not so they can warm you, but so you can warm them. Take a breath. A deep, slow, honest breath. Feel the support under your feet. Feel your skin. Feel your core. You are here. You are standing. You don't need to lean on anyone to beat yourself. You already are. And that is the most solid truth in the world. And in conclusion, a small practice. This is important for anchoring. If you have reached this moment, if you felt something click inside, as if a key turned in a lock, fix it. Do not let this state evaporate. Write this phrase in the comments. I stop looking for answers in others to hear my own voice. Let this not be just a comment for statistics. Let it be your personal promise to yourself, the point from which you start building honest relationships, first with yourself, and then with the